last but not least, the last thing I'm going to talk about doesn't have to do much with the NBA, but has to do with me and the podcast. So, obviously, y'all can tell from this episode that Fernando's not here. I talked about this in the channel update, but talked to Fernando. The last episode of the podcast was 4 months ago, and I want to make this a weekly thing. And Fernando is just a busy guy, just like I am, and we could never figure out a scheduled time to record. And if we could figure out a time, Fernando's internet would go out, or he had something come up, or whatever. So we basically sat down. Well, we didn't sit down because it was over text, but we had like a man-to-man, and there was no beef. We both understood what was going on. And I said, hey man, I want to keep doing this. But if I'm going to keep doing it, excuse me, I'm going to treat it as a job. And what I mean by that is I'm going to treat it as a job in which I have to be there at a certain time, and I have to do my job efficiently. And if I don't show up and I don't do it right, I essentially get fired. And I get fired by you guys is basically what I'm saying. You guys are my boss. You guys are my customers, my consumers. And this podcast is like a startup business, essentially. We're starting it. We were trying to start it from the ground up, get viewers and everything. But if you don't show up for work for 3 to 4 months, then you're not going to be working anymore. And so, and then also, if you, like, customers aren't going to buy your stuff if, just like, with the pandemic, if you're closed for 3 to 4 months, you're going to go out of business. And so that was kind of the analogy I was trying to use. And I was like, I want to do this every week. That's going to be my time to show up to work on time, do my job for you guys, and then maybe take this podcast somewhere, start it from the ground up, get some viewers, and that's what I want to do. And I started making goals for myself, and I want to express those goals to you guys, because if y'all know my goals, maybe y'all can connect more with me, and y'all can help me reach those goals. So the first thing would just be, I'm on 71 subs right now, and it is July 5th. I would say get to 100 subs by the end of the year. After 100 subs, I want to get the podcast to 50 episodes. If I'm doing this every week, it shouldn't take that long. 50 episodes is about a year. And then I want to keep doing the podcast. I want to be known as a good basketball analyst, basketball commentator on YouTube. If the podcast gets big enough, I can get some sponsors, since this is supposed to technically be a basketball podcast. Maybe I can get some sponsors since it's a podcast. And then my biggest goal as of right now, what I want to do, and this is going to take a lot of money and a lot of help from you guys. So be sure to share the podcast around if you enjoy it. Get some more views, subscribe, like the video, all the YouTubers say, because this is really what I want to do. I don't want to stay in Texas forever. And I want to live in Texas because Texas is just where I grew up and all I really know. But whenever I visited Xavier, some of y'all that have been with the channel know because I made a video on it. Some of y'all, maybe this is the first video you've seen of me. whenever I went to Maine, that was the first time I've been on a plane and the first time I've really been out of state. I've been out of state before, but like it was all in car driving distance. I'll just say that. Like I've been to Florida and stuff like that, but um, anyway, I'll get to the point. I've been rambling for a little bit. I want to make a road trip where I go to every single NBA city, um, and go to every single NBA stadium, do at least one touristy thing in every single NBA city, and just get to travel. And if I get to a point where, which will take even more money, which makes this goal even harder, is maybe I see a basketball game in every stadium as well, which would take even more money. And as you may have guessed, 30 teams, 29 cities technically, because LA has two. Um, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of money, gonna take a lot of time, and that's why I need y'all's help with it. Um, if you like the podcast, be sure to share it around. Uh, what all do the things that all the YouTubers say. Subscribe if you haven't liked the video, because that'll really boost the podcast up. And again, maybe I can get some sponsors. Um, I do streaming as well. Maybe I can get some donations from Twitch, and that'll help me save and do this big road trip project that I would really enjoy doing as like a life story. And I'm sure it would be great content for you guys. So, but with that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next video. And that's Nathan Buttonette.